As we grow older, something strange starts to happen in our relationship with food. Things we used to eat without a second thought suddenly come with warnings, labels, or even fear. For many of us over 50, one of those foods is the humble egg. Maybe you remember the joy of waking up on a Sunday morning to the smell of bacon and eggs sizzling in the kitchen. Or maybe it was a simple boiled egg with a pinch of salt that reminded you of home. But somewhere along the way, eggs became a topic of confusion. Doctors, magazines, and health experts all seem to argue about whether they were good or bad for us. Some of you might even recall being told to avoid them altogether because of cholesterol. And so, here we are today, still asking a simple question with a complicated answer. How many eggs a week is actually healthy for seniors? Let's start by acknowledging something important. After 50, our bodies don't work the same way they used to. Our metabolism slows, our muscles may shrink if we're not careful, and our hearts need extra attention. We start to notice the little things: feeling more tired after a big meal, gaining weight faster even when we eat the same, or dealing with cholesterol numbers creeping up in our blood test results. And when the doctor says your cholesterol is high, suddenly eggs, this tiny, affordable, protein packed food, become the villain. But is that really fair? Are eggs truly dangerous for people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond? Or could they actually be one of the most important foods we should keep on our plates? Here's what the science tells us in simple terms. Yes, eggs contain cholesterol. One large egg has about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, and that number used to scare doctors into telling patients to eat no more than 2 or 3 eggs per week. But modern research has turned that old belief on its head. We now know that the cholesterol in food doesn't impact blood cholesterol levels in the same dramatic way we once thought. Instead, it's saturated fats, trans fats, and overall dietary patterns that have the biggest effect on heart health. For most healthy seniors, moderate egg consumption is not only safe, but it can actually be beneficial. Now, let's get to the heart of the question. How many eggs a week is actually healthy? Studies suggest that for most adults, including seniors, eating up to 7 eggs per week is perfectly safe, and in some cases even beneficial. That's about 1 egg a day. Some research even shows that going beyond that, up to 10 or 12 eggs a week, doesn't necessarily raise heart disease risk in people without diabetes or serious heart conditions. But here's where it gets personal, because no two bodies are exactly alike, especially after 50. Some people process cholesterol more efficiently than others. Some may have a family history of heart disease, while others might be more concerned about diabetes, or weight management. So the real answer isn't a strict number for everyone, but rather a range. And the key is to listen to your body and pay attention to your overall diet. Think about it this way. Eggs are like a tool in your toolbox for healthy aging. They're packed with high quality protein that your muscles desperately need, especially after 50. Protein helps prevent muscle loss, keeps you stronger, steadier on your feet, and supports recovery from everyday wear and tear. Eggs also contain essential nutrients that are often overlooked: vitamin D for bone health, choline for brain function, lutein and zeaxanthin for eye health, and B vitamins for energy. That's not just food, it's fuel for the second half of life. Imagine giving up eggs completely because of outdated cholesterol fears. You'd be cutting off one of the most affordable, accessible, and nutrient dense foods available. But let's also be honest, how you eat your eggs matters just as much as how many. A boiled egg with a slice of whole grain toast and avocado is a world away from a fried egg drowned in butter alongside a plate of greasy bacon and sausage. When I talk to people in their 60s and 70s, they often tell me they miss their hearty breakfasts from younger days. But when they make small adjustments, like using olive oil instead of butter, adding vegetables, or pairing eggs with a salad instead of processed meat, they discover they can still enjoy eggs without the guilt. It's not just about counting eggs, but about the bigger picture of balance. So let's say you're over 50 and wondering what's safe. Here's a practical guideline. If you're generally healthy, aim for around 7 eggs a week. That's 1 a day. If you love eggs and feel good eating them, you could go up to 10 or so, especially if the rest of your diet is full of vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. If you've been diagnosed with high cholesterol, diabetes, or heart disease, talk to your doctor, but don't automatically assume eggs are off the table. Often, doctors now recommend focusing on overall dietary quality instead of banning specific foods. And here's the beautiful part. Enjoying eggs in moderation can actually help you cut back on less healthy options. Instead of a sugary pastry or processed cereal, an egg breakfast can keep you fuller, stabilize your blood sugar, and give you the energy to start your day strong. Now, let me share something personal. A close friend of mine turned 65 last year, and she was struggling with fatigue and weight gain. Her doctor warned her about cholesterol and suggested cutting back on eggs, so she stopped eating them completely. But guess what happened? She replaced eggs with bagels and cream cheese most mornings, thinking it was safer. Within a few months, she felt even more tired, her blood sugar spiked, and she gained weight. When she reintroduced eggs, just one a day, boiled or scrambled with spinach, her energy improved, she felt satisfied longer, and her blood work didn't worsen at all. In fact, her cholesterol numbers even improved slightly because she was eating fewer processed carbs. Stories like hers remind me that sometimes common sense and balance work better than fear. If you're nodding along because you've been confused about eggs, let me say this. You're not alone. Many seniors carry the old belief that eggs equal heart problems. But times have changed, and so has the science. What hasn't changed is the joy of sitting down to a warm, nourishing meal that makes you feel cared for. Eggs can still be part of that joy. And here's something I want you to do right now. Think about how eggs fit into your life. Do you use them as a quick protein after a morning walk? Do you enjoy them in a vegetable omelet on Sundays? Or do you avoid them completely out of fear? Share your experience in the comments below because your story might inspire someone else who's struggling with the same doubts. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the nutrients because this is where eggs really shine for seniors. Muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, is one of the biggest challenges after 50. Without enough protein, our bodies lose strength, making it harder to climb stairs, carry groceries, or even play with grandchildren. Each egg contains about 6 grams of high-quality protein with all 9 essential amino acids. That's not just protein, it's the building block your body recognizes and uses immediately. Then there's choline, a nutrient that supports brain health and memory. Many seniors worry about cognitive decline, but choline helps keep the brain's communication systems sharp. Eggs are one of the best sources of choline, yet most people don't get enough in their diet. And let's not forget the antioxidants lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect your eyes from age-related macular degeneration. For anyone over 50 who's worried about vision changes, eggs are a natural ally. So when you ask me, how many eggs should I eat a week? I want you to see the bigger picture. You're not just eating eggs, you're investing in your muscles, your brain, your eyes, and your energy. You're choosing a food that gives back in more ways than one. And isn't that what we all want at this stage of life? Foods that don't just fill us up, but help us live fully, stay independent, and enjoy the years ahead? Here's another thing to remember. Not all eggs are created equal. If you can, choose eggs from pasture-raised or omega-3 enriched hens. These tend to have more healthy fats and even higher levels of certain vitamins. And always consider variety. Eggs are powerful, but they're just one part of the puzzle. Balance them with vegetables, nuts, beans, fish, and whole grains. That way, you're not relying on a single food, but creating a foundation of wellness. And please, don't underestimate the emotional side of eating. Food is memory, comfort, and connection. For many seniors, cooking eggs is tied to family traditions, moments with loved ones, or even simple acts of self-care. When you cook yourself a healthy egg meal, you're not just feeding your body, you're reminding yourself that you still deserve nourishment, joy, and strength. That mindset alone can transform how you approach aging. So let me leave you with this clear takeaway. For most seniors, 1 egg a day, about 7 eggs a week, is not only safe, but truly beneficial. You don't need to fear them. Instead, use them wisely, pair them with wholesome foods, and let them be part of a lifestyle that supports your heart, muscles, and mind. If you have medical conditions, work with your doctor, but don't automatically cross eggs off your list. Chances are, you'll find that they can still play a positive role in your diet. And now I want to hear from you. How do you feel about eggs? Have you cut back or do you still enjoy them regularly? What changes have you noticed in your health? Leave a comment and share your story, because this channel isn't just about me talking. It's about building a community of people over 50 who are learning, growing, and living stronger together. And if this video has helped you, don't forget to subscribe for more insights that make healthy living after 50 simpler and more inspiring. Life after 50 can be full of uncertainty, but it can also be full of wisdom. Every choice we make now matters more than ever. And when it comes to eggs, the choice is simple. Enjoy them in moderation with gratitude. Let them remind you that health doesn't have to be complicated, and neither does joy, because sometimes the smallest foods make the biggest difference. So the next time you crack an egg, see it as more than breakfast. See it as a commitment to your strength, your vitality, and your future. And remember, you are never too old to take control of your health, one delicious bite at a time.